I was informed earlier today that, the developer, Artesian, would like to make some comments. They're under the same rules as anybody else, but I'm gonna move them to come up and make their comments concerning some actions we have.
Thank you very much for having us in front of you tonight. My name is Jackie Erickson. I'm here on behalf of Artisan Construction Group. We are requesting the following language as a motion of the Board of Board of Commissioners. A motion to authorize the township solicitor to enter into a formal settlement agreement of the Cummer Tract. So sorry. It is. Thank you. A motion to authorize the township solicitor to enter into a formal settlement agreement of the Cummer Tract validity challenge and related litigation to be before the Board of Commissioners at its November 8th, 2023 meeting, in accordance with the terms and timelines of the letter of October 10, 2023 from Kozlov Stout, PC. We thank you for your consideration.
Mr. Chair, may I ask a question? Sure. And Dave and I did meet with the group, and we appreciate the time. But now that we're bringing this out to the public, the one thing I did have concern was, you know, we have been discussing some options. We're not a settlement, but some options. And now that it's out in the public, can we share what the offers, the recent offers with the public? Because I need to get public feedback on some of these offers. And some of them have been, you know, they stimulated a next meeting. And we're down to our third, last and final offer. And this, you know, this last one, I know we're told not to share it, but I would like to share it with the public since now we're putting it in the public venue. Is that okay?
With the solicitor's permission?
Sure. Good. Thank you. I think that will help.
Did you want us to do that now, or?
No,
Okay.
we're just, I mean, let me go.
I would say, so what we were gonna ask is that, since this is litigation, we're gonna ask that we discuss this in executive session. Our motion is slightly different than what she just proposed.
Right.
But our motion did include some numbers of,
Right.
what lots are being proposed at this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
If we get to a point that we wanna do a motion, it would be included in that.
Excellent.
well, since we are here and talking about this stuff, so we'll take a break from the regular piece. Some of the numbers are out there, and I know you're not John Benson, but when this first came up in 19, it was a 3-2 vote, and each one of those expanded to the point where it's gonna be over 400 houses we're gonna have in the area. Now, we talked about it, the current number, and I'm gonna say it was 249 right now, with B being 8 and A being 69, or 96, or 98, sorry, with 104, 106 for both those. That's the concern, and also, we're, from my standpoint, and I'm one, that we're being rushed with this thing. So, as Don indicated, we need to talk to residents, because development, overdevelopment, it's a little over 70 acres for both those. For both those areas, it's a lot of ground that we're considering right now. Plus, we have a lot of issues with traffic coming in that area. So, if you want to take that back to John and Joan London, your attorney, we're going to discuss this and we're going to get feedback from residents as well. So I don't expect anything coming out tonight, other than our discussion in executive session. Okay?
So,
If that was your comment, so I just want to make, did anybody else want to say anything? Okay, so thank you.
Thanks very much.
Okay, open public comments. Yes, Renee?
Sorry I wasn't here for a couple months, but I'm back. My name's Renee Spade, 1979 Yarn Road. I just wanted to make a comment about what I said the last time. It's come to me by several people that it is not about the smaller farm, it is about you, Trace. And it's publicly being said, so I'm hearing it. So it is not about the land, I'm just gonna put that out there. Also, November 7th is election day. And as the judge of elections, I plan on making sure that my poll workers are not harassed. So poll watchers need to abide by the rules or they won't be in the building. and that's what it is, that's my job. So I just wanna make sure everybody comes out to vote, everybody is not negative, because we have enough negativity in this world right now, and we don't need any more, and, I just wanted to put that out there, so I'll see y'all on November 7th.
Thanks, Renee. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Hi, Leanne Herzog, 312 Summer Grove Lane. I'm a resident of Summer Grove neighborhood and wish to express to the board concerns regarding the proposed building of over 400 homes in our area. This proposed increase of population in a small area, accessible by limited roadways, will have a negative impact on the residents who already live there and on the township in general. Developers advertise these neighborhoods as conveniently located near Route 100. Anyone who lives in this area is aware of the dangerous intersection at the top of Pine Ford Road and Farmington Avenue, and how limited it really is to travel safely in and out of our neighborhood. Residents on Farmington have made repeated complaints regarding the volume and speed of traffic on their road. These intersections and roads are not designed to support the homes that Artesia wants to clog the area with. 400 new homes can expect 800 more cars. The increased construction will put a strain on resources such as police, first responders, and township maintenance. We will need more resources, increasing our taxes. The debate on the new municipal building will no longer be a debate at all, because increased township vehicles and personnel will make it necessary. If phases 2A and 2B are approved, classrooms in the Potts Grove School District will increase in size, creating a need for more teachers, aides, supplies, computers, bus drivers, and so on. The cost to educate a child in Potts Grove is almost $18,000. It would be reasonable to estimate that each of these new homes would at least have one child, and our school taxes will increase. The residents in Summer Grove and the surrounding areas have lived with constant noise and disruption for the past 2 years. If the next phases go through, we will essentially live in a construction zone. The negative impact will continue when the noise of the building is over. Homes with yards that once faced trees now have headlights at the improved intersection, shining through their kitchen and family room windows. Trucks and cars barrel past bus stops on the newly improved road. We're gonna need to address that. Artesia wants us to give up our small and peaceful surroundings to instead live in high traffic, high noise area, as our taxes increase and our homes are devalued by high density houses. They want to make their money and leave us with a mess. We urge the commissioners to think about the negative impact on our community and put a stop to these proposals.
Others?
Jim Kapinski, 1958 Yarnell Road. At the last meeting, I suggested that the township has a public meeting with the commissioners, with the engineers, with the public, to give us an update on the new municipal complex. There's a lot of rumors out there. I've heard costs of $5.5 million for the total project. Now I'm hearing $8 million only for the one building. I think you owe it to the township to give us an update. And Renee made a good point, you know, with rumors out there, people are commenting, he said this, he said that, they said that. So at least in the next minutes, can you mention the fact that I recommended that the township has a meeting to inform the public update? It's been over a year now since you announced the smaller farm. The second topic is Don was so kind to send me Chester Valley engineers on what I thought was a study that we paid for to look at alternate sites of the smaller property. We never got a copy of that report. I understand that there was 2 properties that are owned by the township and there are other ones privately owned. If I say to an engineer, I love Pepsi, give me an alternate, analyze Coke, Mountain Dew, Sprite, and he gives me an invoice for $1,000 to give me his answer, and he says, Pepsi's the answer. That's a waste of money. This report, I think, is a waste of money. It concluded that the smaller farm is the site. And the only other one he looked at was Heather Place, and they excluded the other ones that were privately held that we may have to buy. So my question is, if the smaller farm, if the township loses the lawsuit with the smaller farm, is the only alternate other site Heather Place? Because we're spending a lot of money on these studies. Like, I would never spend money on a study and say, give me an alternate site, and the engineer comes back and gives me the exact same site that I want an alternate site for. Thank you.
Others? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Karen Baum, and I live at 1144 North State Street since January of 1981. When we bought that house, we did not know that our route was Waste Management's route. So for years, we put up with trash trucks going back and forth. Then that ended. Then when they were building the Upland Mall and redoing the intersection, we put up with all the dump trucks, the tractor trailer trucks, and so forth. Then our road was closed off and we had peace and quiet. Now I understand that you have made a decision to open our street. I would like to know why.
Since that one did come up, we were in a process, so Eric has been researching that piece, and we have several different items on that.
So they did not make that decision yet,
Okay,
just so you know.
okay, good.
What they decided to advise the developers to design the roadway the way it essentially is now. It's open all the way through. And then in the future, to decide whether to make certain portions of it one way. Meaning that they potentially might not be able to go up, they potentially could go two-way, the full way, but that decision has not been made yet.
Why were the residents, today I got a political card in the mail, and at the bottom of it, it said, "It's your township." Do any of you live on State Street? I don't think so. Right now, with that being closed for more than a decade, and the signs at the top that says it's a closed road, people fly down our road and then they fly back up several times a day. You're gonna open that up and we're gonna have traffic to the mall. That was the reason, one of the reasons I understood it was closed was for us to avoid traffic from Upland Mall.
And again, they hear you, that they have not opened the road. So
Okay.
your premise where you're starting out is wrong, so
Okay,
your
all right.
assumption's wrong, and then you're building on that assumption, so it has not been opened up the whole way.
Okay,
If I may add
Go
something
ahead.
that may help, and I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna be out of order here. We did have a discussion, and in that discussion was to make that road a through road that can be one way or no way, emergency access only. And I specifically said in that meeting, I wanna make sure that any potential new tenants in Upper Square Mall know we can close that road and not come back and sue us. Now, as I said before, sometimes we make decisions when we don't have all the information. While we did not make a decision at that point, we did not have all the information. We were bought this deed from 2008 that describes what can be put there, which is a cul-de-sac.
okay.
But essentially, looking at this, I would have some concern, because it could be a two-way. The cul-de-sac could have an exit ramp on it. I don't know. But we have not made a decision, and I do talk to residents up there. I have one resident I talk to often up there. I understand the concern. But, again, we are having discussion points, and the good news, here's the good news. The developer came in and said, what do you want us to do? We'll do whatever you want. So, I think we're still at that point with the developer. Now, like I said, this is 2008, deed. I heard there may be an updated one. Again, we didn't have all the information, and that's nobody's fault but ours, so.
When you get the information, will you make it known to the residents on State Street?
Sure we will, yeah.
Because we had no idea that it was even being
Yeah,
discussed
I
before.
do find, I saw the email that was being given out to residents, asking you to come to this meeting because of decisions we're thinking of. Ironically, the person distributing this was the one who made this decision on the deed, was in leadership on the deed, so.
Okay, well, I'm not here to discuss the
I
gentleman
understand.
who did this or whatever, I'm
understand,
just saying,
You're being a victim of misinformation.
well,
intentional or not.
Well,
so.
it's not just that, I'm being a victim of not knowing what's going on with this group.
Yep, we are here, we will be here to represent you in this. I've talked to, Dee up in that area. And I will just forewarn you, this document, the way I read it, it says they're gonna have to do improvements to State Street and, the other street. There's a widening intersection. So you should have some concern, but these decisions were made back in 2008. So now we're gonna try to fix those to make it work, so. Thank you.
Okay,
I'm sorry it took so long.
thank you, ma'am.
Run away from them.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
It's somebody's phone.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to thank the board for taking time to hear me. I'm not as gracefully spoken as
Could you turn the
some of
microphone
the
off?
other.
Somebody's phone is near the mic.
I'd like to thank the board for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'm not as gracefully spoken as some of the previous speakers, but I would like to have my opinion heard about the Artesian building.
Could you state your name and address?
Yes, my name is Julie Schneeweis. It's S as in Sam, CHNEEWEIS. I live at 330 Summer Grove Lane. And as I understand that one of the building projects will be pretty much right behind me, next to the retention pond. And I already have Summer, Pine Grove Hunt still being built, so we have to listen to that all day long, all weekend long. And we're gonna have to listen to 3 more possible building developments for how many more years? The infrastructure tax, the infrastructure is gonna be taxed immensely. Pine Floor Road and Chestnut Grove Road and the surrounding roads just couldn't possibly handle 400 houses worth of traffic. Just the paving alone couldn't handle it. Then you're gonna have a lot of other maintenance that's gonna have to come with that. There's gonna be water runoff, chemicals, and I just made a short list of things that, off the top of my head, that I found to be aggravating. We're also gonna have a lot more light saturation in the area. There's, obviously, as I mentioned, water pollution and runoff. It's the stretching of our infrastructure, the strain on our local resources and services, both, from, you know, a homeless standpoint, all the way to our police and fire and emergency care. Then there was, I haven't heard a single person address the wildlife, both fauna and the animal world, and the insect world as well. And I also wanted to comment too, that with building, especially an AQ community, an age qualified community, insurance for everyone goes up, and it's not just our car insurances that go up when the algorithms kick in with the increased accidents, as well as your homeowners, because elderly homes tend to get burglarized more often. So that would be a taxing thing for local area residents. Just the continuous building, as I mentioned before, will be an aggravation, and just a concern for,
15 seconds.
yeah. So those are my concerns, and I'm sure that many of my other neighbors have a lot of similar concerns. And I would ask the board to please be very, very cautious on approving anything additional. Thank you.
Others? Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is John Bush. I live at 1256 North State Street. And I wanted to add a little more additional comment about Upland Square and the proposed new development that's going on. That when that whole area was initially planned and started to be constructed, the township held a meeting to get input from the residents as to what should happen to State Street. And to be blunt, we were given the impression that a cul-de-sac would be made. And that's what I guess you were referencing in your 2008 document. Anyways, for years, we've been waiting to see a cul-de-sac built, and the residents made it kinda clear, we didn't wanna see State Street opened up to the mall area or any new potential mall development. Just like these other people were complaining about the Artesian place, traffic will explode again. When they open the back of the mall, traffic just went through the roof. In fact, the township conducted a study in 2017 that showed there's over 850 cars a day just going northbound on State Street. 5% of those cars are going over 40, and about 4% of those cars are going over 50. And that was a 2017 traffic study just on the northbound lanes. So please, don't underestimate the impact opening up State Street, even one direction, will have on our small end of the township. You'll have all the traffic that doesn't wanna wait through the intersection to get out the front, going through the back or coming up State Street or going down State Street. So please, whatever you guys are looking at options, I'm asking you to kinda hold to what the residents asked for, 15 years ago, and that was to block State Street off from that mall development area, including any side street that might come in, and connect with State Street. The traffic will be incredible, and please don't underestimate how much traffic it will bring. I know previous commissioners didn't think opening the back of the mall would cause that much traffic, because they figured people would think it was inconvenient to go back, but the data says it's not, and there's just so much traffic, it's unsafe to walk from our place down to the playground at the municipal building, or even cut the grass, or work on the flower box around the mailbox. So please take that into consideration, we'd really like to see it closed off permanently.